Okay. In this video, go ahead and open up your other file that you have a camera movement or animation set up. And we're going to be using cycles in this one. So let's go ahead and go to the render tab and switch render engine to cycles if you need to, if it's not already on that. And make sure it's set to GPU to compute. And once you have that, let's quickly set up a light source. So you can download an HDRI environment texture. So if that's not there by default, you can hit this little yellow dot. I'm in the world properties, put the yellow dot, go to environment texture, and you're going to see something that looks like this. Just click open, and then look for wherever you have one. If not, you can download one. If you don't remember the size, just ask me last and I'll go through that. So now we have our world picture, and you can see it's casting light and shadows. And we can change how strong the light is by looking at the strength. So I can change this to too much, 1.5, 1.25. So depending on the picture, you can change this how you need to. So, excuse me. Let's go back to render tab, and I'm just going to move this along and get my terrain back into the scene. Let's go a little bit farther along. Oh, but too far. Let's move this back a little bit more. So the terrain should be right about there. So we're going to look at sampling, and I'm looking at viewport. We're going to look at render, and right now we're going to turn off denoising, and I'm going to zoom in. Well, let's go ahead. Decide if you want to use motion blur or not. So for right now, I'm going to leave. Let's do this. Turn motion blur off or leave it off. We're going to adjust how many samples we need. And once we have that adjusted, you can come back and test whether you want motion blur or not, just like we did in the other video. So we have cycles, you have GPU, compute selected, and we're looking at the render. You have turned off denoise. You've done all that. We're going to go to render and image. And once this loads, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to watch the clarity of this and watch the sample numbers. So 10, 15, 20. And I'm watching for when that changes. I don't really see much difference. So at 33, there's a difference. And 45, maybe a little bit. A little bit more than 62. So I'm just watching this number to the point where 80 didn't really make much difference. We'll watch a little bit longer. And I think 62, past 62, there's not really much more clarity that's going to happen. So I'm going to hit the X to cancel this. And I'm going to change max samples to 62 because there's no point rendering beyond that point because it's not going to get much clearer. So now that I have max sample set, I can turn on denoising, and I'm going to render in again. And I'm going to watch how it acts on the samples to see how much more improvement I get from denoising. So we spend like the fun for a second watching the scene once it hits 62, and then it will denoise after that. And you'll see there's much difference between those two, or between having denoising and not having denoise. Once again, we're just looking at the clarity of especially shadow areas. That's what you'll notice being a little extra samples. All right, so then the denoising kicked in, and it's much smoother. So I think I'm going to use denoising. One caveat, denoising, sometimes the pattern it creates is different from frame to frame, but where most of our stuff is relatively simple, you're probably not going to notice that. If you notice some issues, we can render it again without denoising. Okay, so review denoising. If you want to test to see if you want motion blur or not, you can do the same process we did on the other file. I'm not going to go through that. So let's go through real quick and set our output settings. So make sure you have the correct start and end frame. Make sure that you have the correct folder that you want this to be saved in. So I think mine was here. So animation 2, accept. And then where you should save it. And once you have all that set up, iterative cycles is going to take a long time. So in my advice, after the last few minutes of class, open this up and start the render process. Lock your computer, and it should be finished hopefully by the next day. So don't forget, render animation is here. And once you have done that and made frames, the next video will talk about taking those individual frames and turning those into an animation or movie file. Oh, one last thing. Make sure you turn off override. So once you have all those settings, you can save and then wait until you're ready to render up it back up.